NFL fans, welcome back to another episode of the J All Day Show. We're here doing our Tuesday prediction program for all you NFL fans. We crushed it again in our Tuesday predictions last week, going 12-4. We're also 35-10 over the last 3 weeks, so the train is rolling. We're starting to pick up some momentum, right, guys? So we are dominating these picks. That's why you guys have to like and subscribe. We're only 25 subscribers away from 10,000. Thank you guys so much for tuning into all my content. It really means a lot to me. I am so appreciative of this little community we have started to build. 10,000 is the first step. Next, on to 100,000. All right, we have the Week 9 predictions coming up for you with scores. Let's get into it. It's Week 9, NFL fans, and let's get into these predictions. We got 15 games for you guys. I'm going to give you predictions with scores for each and every one of these games. We're going to kick it off with Thursday Night Football. We got the Houston Texans traveling to Jersey to take on the lowly dumpster fire Jets. What else could you say? The Jets have lost 5 games in a row. Devontae Adams has done nothing at all. He's brought literally zero juice to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers is underperforming. The dude's going to be 41 in December, right? What do we do? What do we do with this game? And then the Jets have 7 defensive starters as of today that are questionable for this game on Thursday. It's not looking good. CJ Stroud and the Texans continue to win games, but they're not playing their best football just yet. The offensive line has not been great. They're still getting a lot of pre-snap penalties, all that kind of stuff. The defense, especially the secondary, has not looked really good either, in my opinion, right? So, who am I taking in this game? The fact that the Texans are underdogs to a Jets team that just lost to the Patriots. The Patriots has lost 5 games in a row. I can't even believe it. I think the Houston Texans win a close game here, 23-20 over the Jets. I think the Jets maybe score some points in garbage time to make it a little bit closer, but I like the Jets in the spot. I like CJ Stroud over Aaron Rodgers all day. It does suck for the Texans, though. Stephon Diggs is done for the year with that ACL knee injury. He's out. Luckily for the Texans, they do have a lot of wide receivers still on the roster. Tank Dell, Robert Woods, the tight ends are really good there, and Joe Mixon. I expect him to have a huge role in this game. The Jets have not been very good against the run. I'm going Joe Mixon over 100 yards. If there's a prop for that, I like the Joe Mixon prop for sure. Texans, 23-20. All right, let's move on to this Denver Broncos, Baltimore Ravens game. The Ravens somehow lost to the Browns. Oh my gosh. I'm still licking my wounds, guys. Still licking my wounds. They crushed like 6 of my parlays, man. Absolutely dominant. The one parlay I was going to get like $300 on like a $5 bet, and the Ravens blew it up. Blew it up! The Broncos have looked pretty good, though. Bo Nix is rolling. The Bo train is there for the Broncos. I like the Broncos in this spot. But the Baltimore Ravens are at home. They need a bounce back. That defense has been cheeks. Super cheeks. They also just traded for Deontay Johnson from the Carolina Panthers. That's a huge addition. I just did a power rankings video where I was like, the Ravens need more depth at the wide receiver position. As soon as I got done filming that video, Deontay Johnson traded to the Ravens. It makes perfect sense, right? Their wide receivers, Bateman and Aguilar, had costly drops in that game that ultimately cost them the game. They got the addition they needed in Deontay Johnson. Who wins this game? The Broncos getting 9 points seems pretty juicy to me. I'm going with the Ravens at home to get a W here. It's going to be a close game. Rookie quarterback on the road. The Ravens really need to bounce back. I think Lamar Jackson is super pissed about losing to Jameis Winston and the Browns. He's going to come out for blood. I look for Derrick Henry and this offense with Zay Flowers, Deontay Johnson. It looks pretty good right now on paper, right? We'll see if they can gel. I like the Ravens at home in a close, low-scoring game, 24-17. The Ravens get the W. All right, now we move on to a division game. Miami Dolphins lost to the Arizona Cardinals in the Tua comeback. He looked pretty good. Buffalo Bills slaughtered absolutely destroyed the Seahawks on the road. Clap it up for the Bills. Josh Allen, I think threw his first interception of the year, though, but he's been unbelievable. Josh Allen is up there in the MVP race with Jared Goff and company. I really like the Buffalo Bills in this spot at home. The Dolphins, it's starting to get a little chilly up there in Buffalo, and you know how the Dolphins are in cold weather, right? Tua, the wide receivers, they still just, the team just looks flat to me. They're not playing great football. They lost in a game that they should have won to the Arizona Cardinals. I do like the Cardinals offense, excuse me. I like the Arizona Cardinals offense a lot, actually. All right. The Bills win this game, I think, in pretty dominant fashion. I'm going 27-17 over the Miami Dolphins. The addition to Amari Cooper really complements what they're trying to do with the running game with James Cook. Keon Coleman on the outside with Amari Cooper and Khalil Shakir. Those two really good tight ends, James Cook, Josh Allen. I love that offense. And the defense is always going to be well coached, right? So I expect the Buffalo Bills to win this game for sure. All right, we're going on to the Raiders at the Bengals, the battle of the bums. I like the Bengals in this spot for sure. The Raiders are just the epitome of dysfunction right now. I like Brock Bowers, I like Max Crosby, but everyone else can leave. If you had it like a switch to cut everyone and keep two guys, I cut the whole team. I keep Brock Bowers, I keep Max Crosby, and everyone else could go. They're just not very good. The Bengals lost a tough game. They really missed T. Higgins last week in that loss to the Philadelphia Eagles because what they did was they just rotated coverage over to double team Jamar Chase and really shut him down because there was not another receiver on that roster that, you got to cover up that's really good. They're missing Joe Mixon as well. Chase Brown, he's not that dude. Not that dude. I like the Bengals in this spot and that offense to get right at home versus a not very good Raiders team. I like the Bengals to score some points in this game. I'm saying 30-20, the Bengals get a home victory. Next up, we got another really interesting division game. The Commanders still won with the Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels. Win by the skin of their teeth. Oh my gosh, the Bears coaches are so bad. I'll get into the Bears a little bit later, but oh my gosh, the Bears coaching lost that game. Commanders got lucky. Let's call it what it was. They didn't play great in that game. It was a hard game to watch. Low scoring defensive game, but the Commanders looked pretty good. The Giants played the Steelers pretty tough. They ran the ball really well, but Tyron Tracy is in concussion protocol. Doesn't look like he's going to play in this game. I like the Commanders to steal a close game on the road, 24-23 in a really close game. I really like the Giants' defensive line, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence. They could be trouble for the Commanders a little bit. And the Commanders' defense, especially the secondary, both these teams' secondaries are not very good in my opinion. Daniel Jones looks like he's going to still be the quarterback there. It's going to be a fun game, 24-23, Commanders get the road victory. Cowboys on the road, taking on the Falcons, who looked really good last week. Kirk Cousins, 4 tutties. I mean, they look really, really good. I really like what Kirk Cousins is starting to do with the offense, getting the tight end Kyle Pitts more involved, Mooney, London, Bijan Robinson, a solid offensive line. This is a very, very, very good offense. But the Falcons have let me down in the past before, but you got to remember, the Dallas Cowboys have the second worst defense in the NFL, only behind the Panthers. I don't even think if Micah Parsons comes back, he makes a difference at all. They can't stop the run at all. The 49ers ran the ball down their throat. Bijan Robinson has a monster day, runs the ball down their throat in a blowout. 33-17, the Falcons blow out the Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's move on to the Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, what a win. What a win! Blowing up parlays like an MF. Jameis Winston looked pretty good. Should have had one interception if Hamilton didn't bobble the ball and then drop it to win the game. But Winston looked good. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The offensive line played pretty good, but Denzel Ward is in concussion protocol, which is not great for the Browns defense. He's one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. The Chargers are really starting to find something with that Herbert-Ladd-McConkey connection, right? McConkey was one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft last year. He's an impeccable route runner. Without Denzel Ward, I don't know who covers Ladd McConkey. I like the Chargers to win a very close game, 17-14. I don't think there's a lot of scoring in this game. Bosa is back. Myles Garrett on the flip side. It's going to be a defensive battle. Both of these teams are going to try to establish the run, I think. I think it's going to be a very slow-moving, low-scoring game. I like the Chargers to win a very close game. What did I say? 17-14. Sounds about right for me. Next up, we got the official Battle of the Bums, the Bumitude, the absolute dumpster fire championship of the NFL. Patriots, Titans. I think there's going to be 36 people in attendance for this game. But in all seriousness, Drake May's been playing pretty good. Got a concussion last week. He's probably going to be out. Looks like Jacoby Brissett gets the start. Will Levis come back? Mason Rudolph was awful last week. This Titans team is a dumpster fire. But the Titans defense is very good. This is going to be another defensive game. What team's going to get the turnovers? What team's going to win? I'm going with a surprise victory here. I like the Titans in this spot. 13-10, a very low-scoring game. The Titans' defense is pretty good. Calvin Ridley broke out last week, so maybe they keep Mason Rudolph with that Calvin Ridley connection. I don't know what the hell they're going to do on offense, but if I'm the Titans, I'm running the ball with Pollard. I'm not ever passing the ball ever. Letting my defense do its thing. I think they can win this game. It's going to be close. 13-10. Titans get the dub at home. Saints, Panthers. Looks like Derek Carr's probably going to be back in this game, but the Saints are riddled with injuries, as are the Carolina Panthers. Looks like Andy Dalton might be back starting at quarterback. I don't know. They just traded Deontay Johnson, their only good receiver, left because Adam Thielen is hurt, to the Baltimore Ravens. I like the Saints on the road here, especially if Derek Carr plays. I'm going 2017 in a close-ish game. It's not going to be a fun game to watch. A lot of penalties, a lot of bad play. Another slop fest for us. Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, the Jaguars are really banged up at the wide receiver position, right? And the running back position, actually. NTN, questionable. Brian Thomas Jr., he's questionable with a chest contusion, they said. Gabe Davis, I think, is dealing with a shoulder injury. Christian Kirk broke his collarbone. He's out. So they could be wide receiverless. And that's not very good going against a very high-powered Philadelphia Eagles offense. They've won 3 games, but Eagles fans, don't get too excited. 6-16, the record of the last 3 teams they beat. Giants, Browns, Bengals. Not very good teams. But Jalen Hurts is doing what he's supposed to do. Making timely throws, not turning the ball over. I like that Jalen Hurts. That Jalen Hurts makes me happy. Jalen Hurts strip sacks and throwing picks in the end zone, that makes Jason sad. Okay, I think the Eagles win this game. The Jaguars are extremely banged up. But if they are healthy, I don't know, Darius Slay's dealing with some hamstring stuff. The offensive line's still a little banged up for the Eagles. Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson was in and out of that game with some injuries as well. It's going to be a close game. I'm saying 24-20. Philadelphia Eagles get the dub at home. The Link's always a tough place to play. The Jaguars offensively are extremely banged up. The offensive line's not very good. I like the Philadelphia Eagles. Actually, I'm going 27-17. Redoing the score, 27-17. Philadelphia Eagles get the home win. Chicago Bears, Arizona Cardinals. This is going to be a great game. I like the Cardinals at home in this spot. It's pretty much a pick'em game. The Bears are just not coached well. Eberflus is trash. Waldron is a dummy. That handoff to the offensive lineman, 3rd and goal, game go ahead, potentially score on the table. You hand the ball off to a backup offensive lineman. Are you kidding me, dude? I just want to scream. I wanted to scream. What are you doing? Caleb Williams looked awful. I think Jonathan Gannon game plans up to defeat Caleb Williams. Arizona Cardinals get the home win in a close game. Higher scoring than people think. 27-24. Cardinals get the dub. Here is my game of the week. This game is the best game of the week. Why isn't it the Sunday night game? I'll never know. Colts Vikings is Sunday night instead of the Lions Packers. What the F, NFL? Lions Packers, best game of the week. I'm going with the Lions. I like the Lions in this spot, 30-20. Here's why. Jordan Love is dealing with a groin issue now. It was a knee before. The dude just gets banged up. He's not 100% healthy. He turns the ball over a lot. It's going to be a high-ish scoring game. The Packers defense is very opportunistic, but Jared Goff doesn't typically turn the ball over a lot, but they are playing outside in Lambeau. Jared Goff is not as good on the road, so that's why I think it's a little bit closer than if this game was in Detroit. I still think the running game is going to destroy the Packers. The Packers are not very good against the run. They gave up a lot of yards last week on the ground as well to the Jaguars. Gibbs and Montgomery are going to dominate this game. I think it could be another game where Jared Goff throws like 20 passes and they just run the ball down the Packers' throat, 27-20. The Lions get the dub. Also, Jaire Alexander is dealing with an injury, right? He could be out in this game. Who is going to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown if Jaire Alexander is hurt? We got to keep an eye on that injury. Okay, I like the Lions 27-20. Rams, Seahawks. Seahawks got the brakes blown off of them last week by the Bills. And guess what? The Rams offense is even better. Those brakes will continue to get blown off this week. The Rams dominate 30-17. They blow out the Seahawks. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyren Williams, Matt Stafford. Woo, baby, that smells like some points. The Seahawks defense is mediocre at best. DK Metcalf is still dealing with that MCL sprain. Rams blow them out 30-17. Then we move on to the Sunday night game, guys. Colts at the Vikings. The Vikings are desperate for a win. Anthony Richardson just got benched. Joe Flacco will be starting on Sunday on the road at Minnesota. The Vikings need a win. Is TJ Hockenson finally going to play? That would be a huge wrinkle in their offense if he could actually play, right? The Vikings lost 2 in a row. They need a dub bad here if they want to compete in that very competitive NFC North. I like the Vikings to win a close game, closer than people think, 28-27. I like the Vikings to win in this game. I think Justin Jefferson balls out. The Vikings got to stop the run. They got to stop the run. They got to play a little bit better defense because Jonathan Taylor had a really good game last week for the Colts. Kept that game close versus the Texans, right? So it's going to be close. 28-27 Vikings. And then Monday Night Football. This game was going to be awesome, but Mike Evans is hurt. He's not playing. That hammy is busted up. Busted up. Godwin's done for the year, it looks like. I don't see how Baker Mayfield doesn't throw a couple more interceptions. He might throw some touchdown passes, but I think the turnovers decide this game. I think the Buccaneers are live dogs, especially for a teaser at like plus 17, plus 20 in that regard. I think the Buccaneers play them a lot tougher than people think. I think it's going to be a very close game. 24-23, the Chiefs win it on a last-second field goal. I think it's going to be a close game. The Chiefs have not been particularly great offensively. The defense has kept them in a lot of games. Mahomes has like thrown an interception in like 8 straight games or something insane like that. His QBR is awful this year. So at some point, I think that sneaks up on them. Is it this week? I think it would have been if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were at full strength. They're not. So I still think the Chiefs win 24-23 in a close game. All right, NFL fans, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. That wraps up my Week 9 Tuesday predictions with scores. I think it's going to be a lot of fun games. That Packers-Lions game, I am super excited for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Only 24 more subscribers until we get to 10,000. Thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you're interested in getting early access to my content, you just want to support me and the channel, or you want to get my bets every single Friday, make sure you check out my memberships. I have a 99-cent tier just to support the channel, and for $4.99 a month, you get early access to all my videos, a bunch of exclusive member content like my bets each and every Friday. Make sure you take the time, check it out. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.